up, guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Today I have a pretty awesome update. I finally got my first sort of big channel sponsor, and that's JingleMining. They sent me over a ColEngine P2 FPGA miner. So today we're going to dig into that and figure out, would I ever actually run one of these things in my house permanently? Because it's pretty crazy. You may even be able to hear it right now running in the garage. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can. Today we're going to discuss how feasible is it to actually have an FPGA miner like this at home. We're also going to talk about profitability. What is it making right now? Are you better off buying $4,000 worth of GPUs, or does it make more sense to get this FPGA miner instead? My thoughts on FPGA miners. I actually think I like them more than ASICs. I don't even own any ASICs, but we'll talk about kind of my thought process on why, if I was going to buy one of these permanently, that I would definitely go towards the FPGA route over the ASIC route. And then we're also going to talk about my plans while I have this miner. Am I going to be mining the most profitable coin and selling? Am I going to be accumulating any coins? I'll probably do a mixture of both, but let's see. I'm also going to do some pretty in-depth sound tests for you guys, basically walking kind of around the exterior of my house. Can my neighbors hear this thing? We'll be doing a lot of testing, so stay tuned. Let's get into it. I know what everyone cares about the most is profitability, so that's what we'll look at first. Here we've got the JingleMining site. You can see that this FPGA miner, the ColEngine P2, is $4,300, and it supports a couple algorithms right now. Mainly Carlson hash, and then as well as you can mine Lithium, Radiant, and Ironfish, and it's got your hash rates and power consumptions right here. So I went ahead and I put those numbers into hashrate.no so that we can get a profitability picture for today. Obviously these are going to change all the time, but let's see what this looks like today, and maybe you can kind of use that as a general idea of what to expect. In terms of revenue, it looks like the Carlson hash algorithms are netting almost $17 a day and $4 in power, so you're profiting about $13.50. All three coins, Nexilia, Nautilus, and Carlson, are about the exact same. Lithium comes in at 5.12 Lithium revenue and $9 profit, and then RXD is 4,000 RXD and $7 profit. So what I'm gonna do personally while I have this thing, I had it mining Nautilus for the entire first day, but Nautilus has tanked like 30%. It's down from 3 cents to 2 cents. And I switched it over to Lithium because this entire last month I've been trying to accumulate Lithium, and with my whole farm I was only getting about 3 or 3.2 every single day. But now that I have this guy, I can generate 5 Lithium a day. So I did switch it over to Lithium to mine for the next couple days while some of these Carlson hash coins kind of settle out on their price, because the last thing I want to do is mine Nautilus for 3 or 4 days, and then by the time I go to sell, it's down another 30%, and then I was making even less than I was if I was mining a somewhat more stable coin in Lithium. So that's what I'm doing right now, mining Lithium on it. I'm at 90 Lithium right now, so I want to get to that 100 mark, so I'll definitely leave this on there for 2 days and then revisit profitability numbers. Another thing that I'll be watching out for is if any of these other coins besides Lithium, if their profitability numbers get much better than Lithium, then I may as well mine those coins and switch them to Lithium and Trade Ogre. Now I'm going to take you guys downstairs. We'll get a glimpse of how loud this thing is. That's really the main downside, is just that it's extremely loud and almost too loud for me to personally have in my home. If I didn't have close neighbors and I could just keep the garage open, that would be a different story, but I've got neighbors on both sides right next door. So let's go downstairs. I'll do kind of a sound test, walking down to the garage, walking into the garage right by the miner, and then I'll also kind of do a lap around the house and see how much that noise is coming out of the exhaust fan. Since I've never owned an FPGA or an ASIC, I mean, I knew they were loud. I've seen a million videos on them, but hearing them firsthand is kind of a whole nother story. It's like deafening loud. It's almost hard to think. So let's check that out. All right, guys, I'm just using my standard iPhone mic just so you can get a real idea of how loud this thing really is. So this door is to the garage. I'll be quiet now so you can just experience it. All right, let's head outside now and get an idea of what it sounds like from the outside. So the good news is that it's really not that loud through the exhaust fan. The main thing is that I can hear it completely through the floor, and also that when I'm in the garage, it's essentially deafening, and I think it would basically eliminate me being able to make videos down there with even half decent audio. So let's hear it with the garage open. That's also where it's pretty damn loud with the garage open, and that is when it could definitely disturb the neighbors. Today's video is sponsored by the team over at JingleMining, the largest FPGA and ASIC supplier in China. JingleMining has a variety of products including Ice River, Bitmain, Gold Shell, IB-Link, and even second-hand crypto miners. The team over at JingleMining is super responsive and can help you with any questions you may have during your purchase experience. JingleMining is the exclusive partner of Superscaler, the creator of the ColEngine P2 FPGA miner. If you would like to purchase one, I'll have a link down below with my affiliate link. All right, another quick test I wanted to do is me being a GPU miner. I kind of think about all miners in terms of, would I be better off buying a bunch of 3070s, or how does that compare to purchasing GPUs? So I just did some quick number crunching. In terms of 3070s, a ColEngine P2 is $4,300, or about 14 3070s at $300 a pop. And you can go on eBay right now and find 3070s for that price really without issue. So I think that's a fair comparison. Now, just going into this, I thought in my head the graphics cards were going to come out ahead. But I've got the profitabilities in here. So you can see the ColEngine P2 right here. On something like Carlson, we're profiting $13.45, and something on a Lithium, we're profiting $8.83. Let's compare that to 14 3070s at 11 cents power. That's what I'm at. So for Carlson, got to scroll down a little bit. On the GPUs, we're only making $3.88, and on a Lithium, we're only making $2.66. So the FPGA is about double the profit on both, almost even 3 times the profit on Carlson. So it's really making me kind of second guess how much money I've spent on GPUs, but obviously the downside of this thing is if you don't have like a shed or an off-site mining location, it's really hard to even mine with 1 or 2 of these. But that's pretty crazy. It's much more efficient and much more profitable than getting the equivalent amount of GPUs in dollar amount. So what are my thoughts on FPGAs versus ASICs? And I'm not the best guy to ask about it, but I can look at the numbers and the data and kind of give you guys my thoughts on it. as someone who maybe in the future will be purchasing FPGAs or ASICs, I think it's important to think about what is the main downside with an ASIC. In my opinion, it's if something happens unexpected to the coin or the market or the hash rate, that I don't want to end up with essentially an expensive paperweight before I've at least made my money back. And sometimes it seems to me that some of these ASICs, if you're not in the first batch of people who get them right when they come out, that you're already kind of behind the boat and it may be hard for you to ROI that machine. Especially with coins like Bitcoin, where you have to calculate in the halving. I was watching a Red Panda mining video the other day saying that after the halving, a lot of these ASICs that people have purchased, and a lot of them probably have broken even, and I'm sure a good amount of people have made a ton of money on it, but a lot of ASICs are basically going to be unprofitable again after the halving. So that's concerning. And for those people who haven't made their money back, they're basically banking on an insane price run in Bitcoin to be able to continue mining on those machines. Whereas something like this FPGA, where you have a variety of coins that you can mine, that's pretty important. And that eliminates what I think is one of the biggest downsides of ASICs, is that you're so restricted to that one coin, or in some situations a couple coins, that with this being able to mine multiple, if some crazy rug pull happens on Carlson, good news, you can still mine Alephium, or you can still mine Ironfish. Ironfish is switching its algorithm soon, but still, you could mine RXD. JingleMining isn't paying me anything to kind of have these points or push you guys towards this FPGA, but just looking at the numbers, it is a pretty impressive machine that the fact that you can mine multiple coins with it makes it a big pro, in my opinion, over just purchasing a standard run-of-the-mill ASIC. So with that, I'll see you guys next time. I'll have a profitability update for the month of March coming out next week. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to RabidMining. I would not have been able to set this thing up without his tutorial video. Also, he is hosting the K10 tool file that you use to control the ASIC on his website. So I'll include a link to his YouTube down below, and I recommend checking him out, especially if you're going to get one of these things. Peace.